Hey guys, welcome to Panja Samurai on the Wii. Let's get started. So, file 1, this is file we played when we first played this game. We're actually going to delete this file because I can. We're starting a new game. We'll start with missions. So we're starting with mission 1, and here's our rangers. Got Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, Green Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and Pink Ranger. Best Ranger to play at this point is the Red Ranger. Here's a morph sequence, but do you really care for it? In the future, we will be skipping the morph sequences because they're pretty much identical a lot of the time, except for who's in them. Skip this, it copies stuff from the actual show. Now we can press onwards. We can that poorly. I'm not sure that I'm working. Okay, so yeah, that's okay. This is the change range icon. But if you click on the range, you already are refills your stat, like your MP and your health. Yeah, just refills that. You could change for more content. I tend not to do that because I want to get used to ranges throughout the entire level and not change on a dime. And the reason I'm killing these henchmen are to try and get the secret discs. I love how that enemy just spawns into my trap. It's also pretty hard to control the angle at which the rangers do attack, because it's such a wonky game. That restores your stats and everything without changing the engine. Now I do believe this is a boss fight. Ah, yes. You can see that I'm doing a lot of damage with Jaden. Okay, so when you defeat a boss, it plays one of the finishing kill attacks that the rangers have on the Power Ranger Samurai. We can just skip that. Okay, this is Mega Mode power. We aren't really gonna care for this a lot in this mission. Yeah, the last one's pretty fucking difficult to do. And normally we would get a Megazord battle, but because there is no Megazord battle in this level, we get this. Our next level with the stars actually means our characters get upgraded to a more powerful. This is where we first get the Megazord battle. So we'll start with Jaden again because he's the best. Actually, that sounds biased, but it's not, because he's actually the best in terms of damage and defense very early on. And he's also got the easiest symbol. Skip! Also, he can destroy trees pretty easily because his power is fire. Ooh. Now we got all three of them, and this is, I believe it does this. Okay, nothing too important there. Just remember to burn these trees to get these evil fox out so that you don't. Okay, now we don't have any MP left, so what we're gonna do is just attack the trees till they all fall out. This is where it's... Oh yeah, and with the secret discs, they come in all of the Rangers colors, and even the gold, which technically is a different red disc than the Red Rangers one. We're just looking for secrets, and now we can... Now, technically we can destroy these guys with our heavy attack, but the reason we're not is because, one, we want to save our MP for stupid reasons. Now that was a bit risky to attack the Nuka there, because it's very... Actually, I don't think that's really... Because here we just do that, and that's not good to Megazord build get in the future. Yeah, so there is collectibles that require each of the different ranges, except I don't feel they're worth it, because all they do is unlock a movie or a power up for Megazords, and the Megazords already are easy to play with. No flying allowed, please. This is restricted ground space, so no flying. Yeah, and if you hit a barrel near an enemy, it's a one-hit kill on that enemy. On you would just take a lot of damage. The only enemies I do believe that don't get one-hit killed by barrels are the bosses, but they still take massive damage from the barrels. And also, it's when you attack the barrels, it's not whenever the game slack it. Okay, this can basically make it a speedrun if you want to get that. And now we go into our next boss. And this game can be short, but there are levels that are bloody annoying. What what you want to do is get rid of the Mugus so this guy's easier to fight. And you can see he's a lot tankier than the previous boss. Next is Mega Mode Power, where we actually fight this guy. The reason I didn't fight the last one is, story-wise, he was so weak that the standard Zord could kill him easily. This is part 2 of the boss battle. So there's block, and then there's attack, and then there's a unique block where if you get it in the middle of the orange, it will do a counter attack, but it has to be in the middle of the orange, so it mustn't be, so like that. It mustn't be on the edge of the orange, and it's also very hard to do. And there it is. So it is about timing. More often than not, you're just going to get the standard hit. Now for the finishing blow. And we're not going to show you the Mega Blade things all the time, only when they're not been shown in a previous video or previous level. Yes, victory is ours. So those are the first 2 missions. They're basically tutorials. And yeah, these levels are incredibly short. But also, because you're technically playing as any as you want, you could play as much. And this is the first level where we get mandatory ranges we need to play out. So for player 1, we can only play as green. Player 2, you can see we're blue and yellow. The story in the episode this was based around the Green Ranger. Same with mission form, red, blue, yellow. Story was based around the Red Ranger. This mission based around the Blue Ranger, that's why you're in pink or pink replaces blue in this. And this is based around the Red Ranger, that's why green and pink, but also the Blue Ranger was hypnotized during this episode. So we'll start with this, because we're going chronologically. And he's not the best ranger for this, but he's the only ranger we can play as at this point. So when you first play through these games, I just made him. Why can't I get these right? Yeah, it's some hard because of angle. So we're playing as Green Ranger this time because it's a mandatory thing. When you replay these levels, you can play as any ranger you want, so keep that in mind. Now Mike is probably the hardest of the male rangers to play as because he doesn't do a lot of damage, and well, the damage is still based on bosses, so yeah. And he doesn't have a lot of defense to tank stuff with. As you see, I did a light attack and a launch that enemy for some reason. Uncontrollable speed. And each of them do have a unique way of running where Jaden had his hand behind his back for some reason. I don't know what's up with. But with him, you have this cool attack where he just spins. We got 2 discs dropped at once. That's neat. I do want to save these till we get 6. If we can get 6 by the boss fight. And this is just being the... When you're super speeding and you run into an enemy, you're basically doing a flash. And you can get a max of 6 discs. The 6 discs is actually a reference to 6 ranges because the standard ranger team aims with 6 but starts with 5. It's weird. We're pretty well on, huh? Now you would think the force spear doesn't do much to trees. In terms of the character with the coolest kinda ultimate attack with alternate weapons, that's Mike, mostly because he spins it around himself. Oh, I love this. Do that, get the Beetle Blast to make us a card. Get the fuck out of there so we don't get hit. Ah, it's hard to control. And just for the sake of trying to get a kill or 2, the main thing we want... You can see how weak Mike is in comparison to Jaden, because normally that enemy would have taken it. And the reason we're going for these enemies is for mostly symbol power and disc. Also, these enemies can't melee when they have bows. So yeah, we got 6 discs. The discs are luck based if you get them, so you're not guaranteed. Ooh, that tends to hurt. So with these spinning tops, you always want to heavy attack them to knock them away. This one you have to hit at an angle half the time, because there's this. Usually we'll just come back with the yellow ranger to get the secret that's there. And the thing is, the spin sword controllable slash react, it does do its max damage now. I do recommend be careful of the spinning chops of death. Just because they can kill you pretty easily. So as you saw, I tried to go for a heavy attack. It was a bit slow in execution. Also, the thing is, if you run out of time when fighting the Mughals, which are just the grunts, you will have an explosion happen that will take a lot of health off you. And this is how much damage we can do to your boss right now because essentially our characters are at base level and haven't upgraded. We can also get these tops into him, but they're also pretty unreliable. I mean, there was no reason for us to use the spinning tops. It's much riskier to use those when fighting this guy. The reason we did so little damage with the spin foot quintuple slash, come on, is because realistically we don't have anything leveled up. Well, our characters, because here's the thing, when you get enough stars, all of the characters get increased attack and defense. And this does apply to the spin foot quintuple slash. Ooh, that was pretty bad. We missed, but we got back with a critical hit, as I like to call it. Ooh, counter. Another counter. And a crit. Oh. We're playing a bit sloppy here. Time for finishing blow. No. So we're close to leveling up. This next level we have to play in. That's fine. Jaden's the best character at this point. After this level, we're going to stop the recording, mostly because I don't want to spend too much time boring you with this game. Yeah, we made a mistake again because we swung up instead of down with that, which was dumb of me to try. And these levels are very quick if you're playing as Jaden. Okay. We took the wrong turn, but we got an upgrade piece to the Beetle Blaster. Oh yeah, same as these blue ones, like these fog pieces, they will poison you if you stay in them. And they can only be cleared by the Blue Ranger. So that's really, I mean, the Mughals do become more aggressive and... Oh, we teleported back to the beginning. Yeah, so for teleporters, just be mindful. Because when you first play, or if you're coming back into the game, you don't know where they teleport you to. And yeah, so did they drop anything? No? Okay, teleport. You can use jump and get these, but we don't need them. This game's pretty quick. I might just play it within 2 videos. But if you want me to try and 100% it down the line, you just have to comment about me one. Okay, I blind ran into that. What's oh, the tag out. We can't actually tag out into a different ranger because we're locked into the red ranger this mission. And the thing with missions is they're not particularly long. Yeah, they can be annoying at times, but they're not particularly long, so if you try and speedrun this game, just be mindful that you have to play as Jaden a lot of the time when speedrunning, because he does the most damage from the start. When you get the Gold Ranger, he can actually spam his attacks. So the reason we didn't take any damage there is we do get invincibility frames for some reason on our attacks. Okay, that's mostly for Pink Ranger. Here's another movie collected. When you do the Pink Ranger, you do have to rush towards this thing here, which will teleport you to a secret. But you do need the Pink Ranger for that, which can't be played by either player 1 or player 2 in this mission. And normally when you play multiplayer with someone, they will go as the one that has the better stats, which with Jaden it would be Kevin, the Blue Ranger. So you wouldn't actually play as any of the female rangers at the start of the game. Now that's not because they're bad, it's just they do become good, but only after getting upgrades. Where the male rangers have some good stats from start to finish. That's what I was trying to do with them. Didn't get a drop off thing. Okay, this is where it gets interesting because we're gonna be having 2 trees, flying enemies, and then standard melee enemies. Yeah, when you're outnumbered like that, just spam the one of the ultimates, preferably the one that goes to the alternate weapon, because they tend to get out of ganks better. Yeah, so because he was stunning us and he actually shot us out of the range of the explosive barrel, which helped us survive. If he didn't do that, we would have lost there. Now we're gonna get a new Megazord type thing to do. This is a completely different Megazord, so just we do go into the Mega Mode sequence, but we're not playing as the Samurai Megazord. We're playing as the Beetle Blast, the Megazord. And if you remember from earlier in the episode, we got 3 upgrade discs for it. So we're gonna do more damage than we're supposed to when we first phase it. As well as having more defense. We look goofy as shit with the Beetle Blast Megazord. And our main attack is just punching the guy. Although on us, it looks weird because they cut off from top to bottom and they're not at the end of each other's segments. Time for crit. Now here's the new finishing with Megazord thing. I don't know why you would say that since the Megazord doesn't actually have a guitar. No, it uses as its weapon in the fight. New Samurai look attack defense house, symbol power, weak attack and strong attack were added. Yeah, that's actually boost to damage. That actually helps because Kevin now does more damage, so does the female ranger. And then down here we do play as Jaden with more damage. And Jaden was OP to begin with. So I've shown you the first 4 levels. We'll show you the next 4 levels and then the last 2 levels. Because although there are 10 levels in this game, they are pretty short, and if you try and speed run this game, you'll try and avoid enemies. But because we're playing through this casually to show you what's going on, we're playing this just because.